sure how this is going to go with the wind. Anyway, back from London now, and albeit it's really nice working down there, it's quite nice to come down here and back home and be able to walk the dog. And I was just going to tell you a little bit more about what's been happening to me in the last few weeks. Had a lovely trip out to Spain. It's gone really well, and thanks to everybody in Spain who's watching and reading this. I've written a few articles now about the country, and somewhere I love very much and enjoy going to, and that's worked really well. But anyway, we're now back. We're in, on the whole, going to be working in London, and I'm working on the Olympic Games. And while I'm down there, I will try to do as much filming, I think, as I can, because it should be quite interesting what we're doing, which is creating some of really what's quite vital infrastructure, excuse me with the dog, and building bus terminals. So, funnily enough, I was down in the previous guys employed in about 2007. I was working with a company called Eve Trackway, and I went to a field in Essex, a place called Hadley Farm, which is where they're doing the mountain biking, and met up with some construction guys, looked at the field, looked at a fairly massive area where we were going to put aluminium track roadway down to deal with all the buses and the people coming to the venue. And the guys at the time in 2007 said, well, yeah, we should have this all nailed down in about a year and a half. Well, we're 6 weeks to go to the Olympics. I just went to the very same field about a week ago, and we finally got a contract to deal with that with a company that I'm working with called ES Global. Now, ES Global are interesting enough because they built the water polo venue, and they've built the shooting venue for the Olympic Games in London at the Royal Artillery Barracks in Woolwich. So they're sort of significant players. Sit, stay, stay. Hey, look at me. Stay, stay. There she goes. Back in March, I got a call off Jeff from ES Global, and he was asking me, so some time ago, about Trackway for various bus venues, and asked me to do a little bit of research. So I did a couple of days' work. I know the industry pretty well, having worked in it for many years, and we put a bid in towards the London Organising Committee for the Olympic Games, or LOCOG, to supply the bus terminals for all the park and ride venues. And I heard nothing, just absolutely nothing. It went completely dead, didn't hear a thing, didn't hear anything for months. And eventually heard that some other company had been awarded the contract, carried on, kept writing BizNetworkGuy, kept working with the GeoStrat product and trying to develop my various business interests, a few trips to the Middle East, hello Joe and the boys, and nothing heard until about 2 weeks ago. And I got a phone call from Jeff, and he started the call by saying, if you want to tell me to off, you can, but this issue has come back again. And I couldn't believe it. I was really surprised. And if this is an object lesson, it's anything, it's don't give up, because things that you think have gone, sometimes they have, sometimes they haven't, and sometimes, as in the case with this, it re-emerges. And I did the same exercise, and to my amazement, because it's the Olympic year and everything's massively busy, and all the companies that deal with this sort of kit generally have really, really busy summers and quiet winters. So I wasn't expecting to find anything, but we found 35,000 square metres of kit, which nobody was more amazed about than I was. Dog's still having a nice time. Lovely fields of Norfolk. Might as well just have a look at them while we're doing it. I mean, it's just not a bad spot to go walking around, to be absolutely honest. And there she is, look, sitting there, waiting to go chasing rabbits. Anyway, we put in a bid, and it took 2 weeks until, in fact, last Friday, when we got a contract working with an organisation called WRG to go and install these terminals. So that's what I'm doing. For the next 6 to 10 weeks, I'm working at Lee Valley, which is the water sport venue. We're doing Wimbledon for the tennis, Brands Hatch, Hampton Court, Windsor for Eton Dorney for the rowing, and installing thousands and thousands of aluminium panels. And some of them go and stay, some of them go and move. And it's quite a good project. It's an interesting thing because, you know, you don't want to be complacent about it at all, because if we don't do this and we don't get it in, they haven't got anybody getting to these venues. So it's a bit critical. And it's funny with these big sporting events because, you know, I think it was about 2005, July 2005, in fact about 5th or 6th of July 2005, because it was just before those pretty nasty bombings in London. Remember that sort of date in your mind fairly well, that the Olympics got announced that they were going to be happening in London. And so here we are, 7 years later on, and 7 years in the planning. You know, I can remember I worked on Manchester in 2002 with the Commonwealth Games, which is sort of a bit of a mini-me version of the same thing. But it's like the last 10 minutes of the job before it happens is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. And these things, you can't imagine how big these events are, but it's like about, whoa, and there she goes, 25, if you imagine Glastonbury, it's a huge, huge event that happens every year, music festival in England, 3 days, 120,000 people. This is probably like about 15 of them happening at the same time. It's just a massive, massive event. Last year I was working on the equestrian venue, which is at Greenwich Park, and there they're building a massive elevated deck to stage everything on because the thing's on a hill. And that's incredible itself. A company called TSG I worked with for a couple of years doing that. So I've had quite a close association with the games. And you know, I've been out of this event environment for quite a long time, working on BizNetworkGuy and working on my other things, mainly working from home. So actually in some ways it's quite exciting to get back involved with it and go and spend some time. So look, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to share some insight. I'm going to show you when I'm down there. I'm going to be posting a few times. I'm going to do a few videos and show you what's going on. So it'll be my mini version of the Olympic Games for BizNetworkGuy. And there you go. There she is. I'll say goodbye. Cheers. Have a good day. Bye-bye.